What if I told you that the solution to Montreal's second-line center problem has been skating in Calgary all along, wearing the Flames' colors but potentially destined for a much bigger stage? Could Nazem Kadri be the championship-tested veteran that transforms the Canadiens from promising contenders into legitimate playoff threats? The Montreal Canadiens exploded out of the gates this season like a team possessed, storming to an impressive 5-2-0 record after a dominant homestand that had fans buzzing with excitement. Now, as they embark on their West Coast road trip, they'll face the Calgary Flames on Wednesday night. And ironically, that matchup could be previewing their most realistic and impactful trade target of the season. Enter Nazem Kadri, the 35-year-old center who's finding himself in an increasingly uncomfortable position. While Kadri continues to produce at an elite level, the Flames organization appears to be heading toward an inevitable rebuild. When organizations start pointing their compass toward the future, veteran players with substantial contracts become available. And that's exactly where Kadri finds himself. The conversation gained serious traction during yesterday's Sick podcast postgame show, where hockey mind Maxime Lapierre and Pierre Maguire dissected just how realistic and beneficial a Kadri acquisition would be for Montreal. These aren't casual observers throwing darts at a board. These are seasoned hockey professionals who understand the intricate chess match of NHL roster construction. Here's a sobering reality check for Canadiens fans. Your team currently has exactly one player with a Stanley Cup ring. That's right, just one. Alex Newhook hoisted the cup alongside Kadri in Colorado back in 2022, and that's the extent of championship experience in Montreal's locker room. Think about that for a moment. In a league where playoff experience and championship DNA are invaluable commodities, Montreal is running dangerously thin on veterans who've been through the absolute crucible of a cup run. Kadri doesn't just bring statistics and face-off percentages. He brings the intangible wisdom of someone who's climbed hockey's highest mountain. Maguire painted a tantalizing picture. Imagine Kadri centering Montreal's second line between Alex Newhook and the electrifying prospect Ivan Demidov. That trio could potentially form the most formidable second line the Canadiens have iced in years. The chemistry between Kadri and Newhook already exists from their Colorado days, and adding Demidov's explosive skills set into that mix? That's the kind of combination that keeps opposing coaches awake at night. Let's address the elephant in the room, Kadri's contract. He's in year 4 of a 7-year deal carrying a $7 million cap hit, which isn't exactly pocket change. But here's where Kent Hughes' reputation as a salary cap wizard comes into play. Montreal currently has approximately $5.1 million in available cap space, according to Puck Media. That's not quite enough to absorb Kadri's full contract. But Hughes has proven time and again that he can work financial magic. If Calgary commits to a full rebuild, and all signs point in that direction, convincing them to retain a portion of Kadri's salary becomes significantly easier. Rebuilding teams need draft picks and prospects, not expensive veterans eating cap space. Additionally, Patrick Laine's $8.7 million cap hit comes off the books at season's end, providing Montreal with substantial long-term flexibility. This isn't just about making a move for this season. It's about positioning the franchise for sustained success while the championship window is wide open. Strip away the contract discussions and salary cap gymnastics for a moment. Let's focus on what Kadri actually delivers on the ice, because that's where this trade proposal transforms from interesting to essential. Last season, Kadri posted 67 points, including an impressive 35 goals. That's not a veteran coasting on reputation. That's a player still performing at an elite level. He brings both playmaking vision and goal-scoring ability, exactly the dual-threat capability Montreal needs in their second-line center position. Face-offs have been an inconsistent area for Montreal in recent years, and while Kadri's 46.2% face-off percentage last season and 48.7% career mark aren't elite numbers, they're respectable and would immediately upgrade Montreal's performance in the circle. In tight playoff games where possession matters enormously, those percentage points become crucial. But here's what the statistics don't capture. Kadri plays with an edge. He's physical, he's competitive, and yes, he's picked up some playoff suspensions over the years. But that same intensity and refusal to back down is exactly what playoff hockey demands. Montreal's roster could absolutely use more players with that kind of grit and determination. When the games get tight, when the physicality ramps up, when opposing teams try to intimidate. You want players like Kadri who won't flinch. He's experienced the pressure cooker of Canadian market hockey, having spent years in Toronto. He knows what it means to play under intense scrutiny, and he's thrived in that environment. McGuire speculated that Calgary's asking price would likely hover around 2 prospects and a draft pick. That's not insignificant, but it's also not unreasonable for a player of Kadri's caliber and experience. Montreal would almost certainly keep their crown jewel prospects Michael Hage and Jacob Fowler off the table. Those two represent the future foundation of the franchise. But beyond those untouchables, every other prospect should be available for discussion. This is about winning now while your core is entering their prime years. The Canadiens have built an impressive prospect pool through smart drafting and player development. That depth exists precisely for moments like this, when you can leverage future assets to acquire a proven commodity who addresses immediate needs. Wednesday night's game in Calgary takes on added significance now. Fans will watch Kadri through a different lens, imagining how his style would mesh with Montreal's system, how he'd look in the Bleu Blanc Rouge, how his presence would elevate the players around him. This isn't about desperation or panic moves. Montreal is building something special, and they're ahead of schedule in their rebuild. But championship windows don't stay open forever, and when you have an opportunity to add a proven winner who fills a position of need, you have to seriously consider making that move. Kent Hughes has earned the fan base's trust through his methodical, intelligent approach to roster construction. If he identifies Kadri as a missing piece, and all indications suggest this would be a brilliant acquisition, then this should absolutely become his top trade priority. Unless, of course, Sidney Crosby somehow becomes available. But short of that unlikely scenario, Nazem Kadri represents the perfect blend of skill, experience, championship pedigree, and realistic availability that Montreal needs to take the next step in their evolution from promising young team to legitimate Stanley Cup contender. What do you think? Is Kadri the veteran presence Montreal needs to push them over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you want to see Kent Hughes make this trade happen.